There's a moment in every courtroom that most people never notice. It happens before the evidence, before the lawyers speak, before anyone says a single word. The defendant walks to the stand. The judge watches. And in that silence, something invisible changes. Because here's what most people don't understand. Judges aren't just listening to your testimony. They're reading you, your breath, your posture, the micro movements your body makes when your brain tries to hide the truth. They've spent decades studying one thing, human behavior under pressure. And they know something terrifying. Your body can't lie as well as your mouth can. That small pause before you answer, they noticed. That shift in your voice when the question got uncomfortable, they heard it. That expression that flashed across your face for half a second, they caught it. Before you even realize it, the judge has already started building a case. Not from evidence, but from you. Today, we're going deep into the hidden world of courtroom psychology, the techniques judges use to detect deception, and why even the most calculated criminals eventually break. If you've ever wondered how truth and lies battle in silence, stay close, because what you're about to learn changes everything. The entrance. Reading you before you speak. Most people think the trial begins when they take the stand. Wrong. Judges start analyzing you the moment you enter the courtroom. And here's something that will make your skin crawl. They've already formed their first impression before you say a word. Your walk, your posture, the way you hold your head. These aren't random movements. They're emotional signatures that reveal what's happening inside your mind. Research from behavioral psychology shows that humans make snap judgments in 7 seconds. Judges do it faster, because they've trained their brains to see patterns invisible to ordinary people. Here's exactly what they observe in those critical first moments. Shoulder tension. Raised, rigid shoulders signal a nervous system flooded with stress hormones. Judges catalog this instantly. Hand behavior. Clenched fists reveal someone fighting to control panic. Fidgeting fingers show anxiety leaking out. Open, loose hands, that's genuine calm, or someone who's rehearsed this moment 1,000 times. Eye movement patterns. Avoiding eye contact can signal shame, fear, or social anxiety. But here's the psychological twist. Forced, unblinking eye contact is even more suspicious. Liars often stare too hard, trying to prove honesty. Judges know this manipulation tactic. Walking rhythm. Moving too fast equals anxiety overwhelming composure. Walking deliberately slow equals someone performing calmness while internally collapsing. Breathing depth. Shallow chest breathing versus deep belly breathing reveals nervous system activation. Judges watch for this biological stress marker. But here's what separates experienced judges from everyone else. They don't assume guilt from these signs. Instead, they establish your behavioral baseline, your normal state under courtroom pressure. Why does this matter? Because once questioning begins, judges compare every reaction against that baseline. When your behavior suddenly shifts during a specific question, they know you just entered dangerous territory. Real emotional control is fluid and natural. Fake emotional control is rigid and effortful. And within 10 seconds, the judge knows which one you're showing. The invisible trial has already begun. The voice, your body's lie detector. Your voice betrays you faster than your words ever will. And here's something most people never realize. You can't fully control your voice when you're lying, because your vocal cords are connected directly to your nervous system. Judges don't just listen to what you say. They listen to how your body produces sound under stress. It's biological, it's involuntary, and it's devastating for liars. Here's exactly what judges are trained to detect. Vocal pitch elevation. When stress hormones flood your bloodstream during deception, your larynx tightens. Your vocal cords constrict. Your pitch rises, sometimes barely noticeable, but trained judicial ears catch it every time. This isn't psychology, it's physiology. Your body is physically reacting to the cognitive load of lying. Speech tempo patterns. Fast talking equals a mind racing to keep the fabricated story coherent. Slow, calculated speech equals someone mentally editing every word to avoid contradictions. Truth flows. Lies require processing power. Judges know the difference. The pre-deception pause. This micropause is lethal. Right before a lie, your brain needs a fraction of a second to construct the false answer. That hesitation, sometimes just 0.3 seconds, creates a pattern. Once judges identify your pause signature, they know exactly when you're about to deceive. Rehearsed speech patterns. When testimony sounds like a memorized script, perfect grammar, zero filler words, unnaturally smooth delivery, judges immediately suspect fabrication. Real memories are messy. They include I think, and natural pauses while your brain retrieves authentic details. Lies, they're polished, too polished, and that artificial perfection exposes them. Emotional vocal disconnect. This is where most liars fail. Someone describes a traumatic event, but their voice stays emotionally flat, or they express sadness with zero vocal tremor, or they sound strangely upbeat while discussing something serious. Judges flag this immediately because authentic emotion and vocal expression are neurologically linked. When they miss a line, something is fundamentally wrong. strategic volume shifts. Guilty people often lower their voice during crucial parts of testimony, subconsciously minimizing the lie, or they suddenly get louder to project false confidence. These aren't choices, they're involuntary biological responses. The voice never lies perfectly, and judges know exactly where to listen for the cracks. Body language, the silent confession. In the courtroom, your body speaks before your mouth opens. Judges are trained in nonverbal communication, and they're watching for these specific signals. Micro-expressions. These are involuntary facial expressions lasting less than half a second. Fear, anger, disgust, contempt. They flash across your face before you can suppress them. FBI agents use micro-expression analysis. So do judges. That split-second look of panic, they saw it. Head movement contradictions. Your head says yes, while your words say no. This is a classic sign of internal conflict. Your conscious mind lying while your subconscious reveals doubt. The subconscious shoulder shrug. Ever notice how people shrug slightly when they're uncertain? Liars do this too. A tiny shoulder lift that says, "I'm not confident in what I'm saying." Judges notice every single time. Defensive body positioning, crossed arms, leaning back, creating physical barriers with objects. These are psychological shields. The body is literally trying to protect itself from perceived threat, often guilt. Strategic fidgeting. Here's what matters. Judges don't care if you fidget. They care when you fidget. If you're calm through 20 questions but suddenly start touching your face, adjusting your clothes, or tapping your fingers during one specific question, that question just became the judge's focus. The eye contact trap. Popular myth: liars avoid eye contact. Reality: skilled liars force eye contact to appear truthful. Judges spot this instantly. Natural eye contact breaks occasionally. Forced eye contact is uncomfortably intense and unblinking. Mouth and lip behavior. Lip biting, mouth covering, dry swallowing, tongue darting out to wet lips. These are biological stress responses. One veteran judge explained it perfectly. Honesty is relaxed and imperfect. Lies are tight, controlled, and calculated. Your body knows the difference even when your mind doesn't. And in the silence of the courtroom, those differences become impossible to hide. Story analysis. How judges destroy lies. Judges understand something criminals often forget. Real memories have flaws. Lies try to be perfect. Here's how judges systematically break down testimony. Consistency testing. Real memories remain stable. The core story doesn't change. Details might vary slightly because human memory is imperfect, but the foundation stays solid. Lies, they evolve. The story shifts. New details appear. Old details disappear. Each retelling reveals more crack. Unnecessary detail overload. Liars often add excessive, irrelevant details to make stories sound authentic. I remember it was exactly 8:47 p.m. because the red digital clock on the wall was blinking, and I noticed it right after I heard the church bells. That level of precision for unimportant details? Suspicious. Real memories don't work like high-definition cameras. Emotional consistency. Does the emotion match the story being told? If someone describes a violent crime with zero emotional reaction, judges notice. If they show extreme emotion over minor details, judges notice. Emotional responses follow predictable patterns. Deviations signal problems. The reversal test. Sometimes judges ask you to tell the story backward, starting from the end. Truthful memories can be accessed from any angle. Lies fall apart because they were memorized in sequence. Question reaction speed. Simple, truthful answers come fast. If someone takes 5 seconds to answer, "Where were you that night?" they're not remembering. They're calculating. Defensive overreaction. When innocent people are questioned, they're confused or frustrated. When guilty people are questioned, they get angry because they feel attacked, exposed, cornered. One judge put it simply: the truth stays the same every time you tell it. Lies need maintenance, and in court, there's no time for maintenance. Emotional reactions. The unbreakable. Telemotion is the one thing humans cannot fake flawlessly. No matter how smart they are, judges rely on emotional analysis more than any other tool. And here's why. Reaction timing. When someone hears devastating news, a guilty verdict, a victim impact statement, shocking evidence, innocent people react instantly. Their emotions are genuine and automatic. Guilty people? There's often a delay, a few seconds where they process what to perform rather than what they feel. Judges catch that delay. Emotional overacting, fake tears, exaggerated sadness, theatrical shock, playing the victim too hard. Judges have seen thousands of genuine emotional breakdowns. They know real grief is raw and ugly. Performed grief is clean and controlled. Emotional underreacting. The opposite is equally suspicious. Someone facing life in prison shows zero fear. Someone accused of murder displays no anger at the injustice. Someone who lost a loved one shows no sadness. These absences of expected emotion raise massive red flags. Rapid onset anger. When someone is caught in a lie, anger often erupts immediately. It's a defense mechanism, the brain trying to regain control by going on the offensive. Judges know this pattern by heart. Inappropriate emotional responses, smiling while discussing a victim, laughing during serious testimony, showing frustration when sympathy would be natural. These mismatches between situation and emotion expose internal truth. Emotional exhaustion. Long trials reveal everything. Fake emotions are exhausting to maintain. Eventually, the mask slips. The real person underneath appears. And judges are patient. They wait for that moment. Because emotions don't lie as easily as words do. And in the courtroom, emotion is often the final piece of evidence that seals someone's fate. Experience. The judge's ultimate weapon. Here's what separates judges from everyone else. They've seen it all. Thousands of times. Every type of criminal. Every manipulation tactic. Every emotional breakdown. Every clever excuse. Every desperate lie. After years on the bench, judges develop something beyond training. Instinct. They've watched. Innocent people trembling with fear of being wrongly convicted. Guilty people faking calm while their world collapses. Victims reliving trauma they wish they could forget. Witnesses breaking down under the weight of truth. Master manipulators playing psychological games, and through all of it, patterns emerge. Behavioral patterns, emotional patterns, deception patterns. Judges stop just hearing words. They start reading humans, understanding the deeper psychology beneath every statement. One judge with 30 years of experience explained, "You stop listening to what people say. You start listening to who they are when the pressure is crushing them." That experience is irreplaceable. It's sharpened by every case, refined by every lie, and proven by every conviction. And it's the reason the best liars still get caught. Deep, emotional, unforgettable. In the end, the courtroom reveals something profound about human nature. We are all terrible liars when survival is on the line. Because lies aren't just words, they're full-body performances, and your biology refuses to cooperate. Your voice cracks under the weight of deception. Your body tenses when guilt surfaces. Your story shifts because fabricated memories can't stay stable. Your emotions leak through the mask you're trying to wear. Your pauses reveal the moment your brain constructs the next lie. All the microsignals you desperately try to control, they escape anyway. The courtroom doesn't just judge crimes, it judges humanity at its most vulnerable. When the stakes are freedom or prison, truth or destruction, life or death. And in those moments, the real you appears. Not the version you rehearsed,